Aloha and welcome. This is the Brand Aura Studio, and I am Athena, here to talk about magic, medicine, and how to get visible with all of this beautiful landscape that is within us. And to begin our journey into that realm, I want to connect us with the larger architecture that we are all in here, even though we are in this incredible grid that is spanning the planet right now with just this call, just this circle of women right now. We are all within a larger framework. And so I'm going to call in the 7 directions. Does everyone know where east is in their home? Yeah, you know where the sun rises, right? Okay, because we're going to start with the east, and you're welcome to close your eyes for this. If you want, you can stand up and face that direction. If you want to play your drum, you can play your drum. This is all up to you. I'm just going to bring us all into this shared architecture of home. Hey, yes. Okay. Calling in the gatekeepers of the east, the direction of the rising sun, the newness, the time of childhood, the element of the air, and all of the winged creatures, the eagle and the condor, the hummingbird, all in the direction of the east. Show us the innocence of childhood and the excitement of the new dawn. Be with us, protect us, and guide us. And then just behind me and to our back, the south. Calling in the gatekeepers of the south, the carriers of the fire, the element of the fire, the teenagehood of our evolution, that fire of the heart, that deep rebellion within, that belief that anything is possible and that we are eternal and immortal and that life is just a feast. The gatekeepers of the south, these are the herd animals and the family animals, those that gather around the hearth of the fire, that we consider our inner fire, our inner hearth, and how we keep it aflame, how we stoke it, and how we invite people to join us at that fire. The deer, the horse, all in the direction of the south, as well as the jaguar, and those of our lineage in the South Americas, the jungle. Gatekeepers of the south, be with us, protect us, and guide us. And here to my left is the west. The west, the land of the setting sun, and the colors of pinks and purples and all of the change of the elements. Imagining the west, it's the element of the waters. It's all of the whales and the dolphins, as well as all the plant kingdom is in the direction of the west. The west is the time of adulthood in our lives, when we're able to hold our own waters and to share from our cup, from our saucer, to know how to commune. Guardians of the west, be with us, protect us, and guide us. Then to the north, the mountain, the element of earth, the crystals that show us what pressure does, turns us into a diamond. The north is the time of eldership, elders of all lineages, of all directions, and all space and time, their great wisdom. Show us how we can grow to be elders in our own life, in our own communities, and to carry the wisdom that we've gained. Guardians of the North, White Buffalo Calf Woman, be with us, protect us, and guide us. And these are the 4 directions on the horizontal plane. And now we join with the vertical plane, the one that goes up and down from earth to heaven. And we start first with the earth. And feel your feet on the ground. If your legs are crossed, you can uncross them. Just feel the earth beneath you. Know that she is there. To the heart of Pachamama, to where my body came and to where my body will return. To my home, to our shared home that gives us so much, that shows us how to move with the seasons, how to blossom and give, and also how to let go and rest. Pachamama, your incredible generosity, thank you. Be with us, protect us, and guide us. And above us, the heart of the heavens, the heart of the cosmos, Father Sky, the eternal mystery, the stars and the ascended masters, the music of the spheres and the gravitational orbits that are keeping this whole dance in place. To the heart of the cosmos, show us your light, your wisdom. Allow your light to pour through my crown and enter me. As my feet are firmly on the ground, let my mind be open to the possibilities. To the heart of the cosmos, be with us, protect us, and guide us. And then here at the center, you can put one hand on your own heart, the heart of humanity. This network of shared hearts, of which my heart is one node. We are in this vast, luminous, sparkling web of consciousness, of wisdom, of love. Inhale deeply and feel your own heart fill with light. And exhale, sending that light into this web of the heart of humanity. We are all connected. And may the light that we experience today bring light into this vast, vast web. And may we know that we are also supported by this incredible family of the human. Heart of humanity, be with us, protect us, guide us. I am your sister, your daughter. Just inhale deeply. And feel yourself connected to all of that. I'm going to take us a little further in a journey as I invite you into the temple that I've created. This is the temple of Brandora, and the temple of Athena Llewellyn in 2022. As my body is also a temple growing life within me, and I am creating a whole new creative vortex around me that I really hope to dance with some of you within. And so here, in this space. And you're welcome to be here in any way. If you want to close your eyes, you want to stay with me. I'm inviting you into this temple I've built. And there are pillars of light that hold this temple up. And these pillars are the pillars of my heart and what I hold dear. They represent the world that I am building to live in, that I'm building for my child to live in, for my family, for my human family, and that I'm inviting you to come be in. Yeah. And these pillars of light, imagine 4 pillars all around you. And one of these pillars is courage. Another pillar is self-knowledge and wisdom. Another pillar is magic, the mystery. And in front of me, the great pillar of communion, of connection. For my heart, in all of its imagination and all that it sees, it longs to connect. And that's what really being a human so much comes down to. And that's really what this conversation today is really all about, is how are we connecting? How are we connecting from the heart? How are we changing our hard work to heart work and moving the hustle into magnetism and truly embodying this revolution of the feminine that is happening through us and all around us? If you feel like you are part of something greater, something mysterious and magical, then I want you to write in the chat, magic, mystery, something bigger than me. What does that feel like to you? Yeah, the mystery. Serena says magic. Truth. Yes, Alex. So good to have you here. Yes, magic, bliss, mysticism, heart and truth, trust. Yes, Antonia. Alignment. Yes, Lynn. Expansive, Jeannie. Bigger than the imagination, right, Deb? In so many ways, our mind can't even fathom what we are. It's actually scientifically shown that the aura or the electromagnetic field of the mind is 10 to 100 times smaller than the field of the heart. Okay, the human heart, the mammal's heart, is something that we can't even truly fathom what that is. And so as I pull together the parts of myself, some of my favorite parts of myself, some of the things that I love to do the most and do best, I find myself with you here today. And in the Brandora space, I'm allowing myself to bring my inner magical child out to play with yours, and to remember and resurrect and see and make visible that world that we play within. I know when you were 4 years old, 5 years old, that maybe like me, you had all kinds of magical realms that you lived in. And that somehow those realms went through ebbs and flows of being real or accessible. But the truth is when I really connect with her, when I connect with that, it's still the same thing, and it's the same place, and it's the same desire that I have to play in those realms. And so I realized last night, that's actually what I was doing today. I was like, oh, I'm just calling forth some friends that maybe want to play in the realm of magic with me. And so that's why we're here. I chose the words Brandora because I'm working within the realm of branding, right? And marketing, and these words that have these kind of, I don't know, uncomfortable connotations. But really what I see them as is visual storytelling. And to me, a brand is an imprint, right? When we brand a cow, like we're imprinting something. And so a brand is an imprint, and an aura is an electromagnetic field. And so what I'm calling in is, how can we create an imprint with our own electromagnetic field that is creating a ripple of our own heart's language? And how do we bring that heart's language into focus and into fruition? I know so many women right now that are rising in their wisdom. If you feel like you are a woman rising in her wisdom, awakening and sharing in your way, I want you to say woman in her wisdom in the chat, because I know that we're out there and we're all together. And I work with women that have come out of court, like, were decades in corporate, or women that never, that they were full-time mothers. And so they never really had the chance to have their own work. Women that are coming from so many different areas with their own learned and lived experience, their own inner standing of who they are, what their magic is, and what they are really here to share. And in that, really what their power is. I think we all spend time trying to be something to fit into a box in some way so that we can thrive and survive within the structure that we're given. But the reality is the structures that we are in are beginning to crumble, and the economy that we are in is beginning to shift. And I say that we've been living in an economy based on extractivism, based on consumerism. And we are watching that economy really begin to change and crumble. Definitely shifting, yeah. And what will be built in its place is the question that is the most interesting to me. Because these times of resurrection, of renewal, when the snake bites its own tail, this is a time of deep magic. So what is going to be built here now? And what I'm seeing through so many women is that an economy of care is coming forth. And this is an economy that's based in helping one another, in truly connecting heart to heart, in really elevating the humanity in one another, in seeing each other for what we are beyond what we do or what we even say, but truly who we are. And I'm seeing that. And with that, I see a rise of the modern medicine woman. And now this phrase, the modern medicine woman, so many people have reached out like, I don't know, who is she, right? And it's like, that's what's so wonderful is we get to not just define her, we get to discover her. Because I believe that every single one of us has an inner medicine woman. She is the one that's connected to our magic, to our mystery, to the source of life and the cycles of life within and around us. And so I'm calling forth for this revolution of the sacred, for the voice of the modern medicine women to really stand tall and strong, and to become clear in their message and confident in visibility. How many here can relate to feeling self-conscious about their visibility, right? A little shy, right? And maybe even like over time, you sort of our shoulders kind of like slunched a little bit and started feeling like this happen, right? Does anyone else like feel that a bit? Yeah, right. And so how do we open that up again and open that heart again? And there's so many reasons to be afraid. There's so much epigenetic reality of what women have gone through in so many generations. And I want us all to just, in this moment, take a moment with your feet on the ground to acknowledge your ancestry and the women who have come before you and the lives that they led and what they went through to bring us here today, right? Where we're using technology to span the globe and come together in a circle and talk about resurrecting the magic and the mystery, to really honor all of that. My great-grandmother, she walked with her children, giving birth twice in Exodus from Russia, right? Like in my own lineage, the reality of the women that have come before me is such that it's brought me here. And I just want to honor that and appreciate that while we're here. So to just give a nod to your own ancestors and where they came from. And to honor also that it hasn't been safe for women to share for a very long time. As a child, I had reoccurring dreams of watching my own mother burn at the stake. I think that the witch wound is real. And I think that we were conditioned to be afraid, to be visible. And I think that this is now a lifetime where we can be visible, and we actually must be visible, because this is part of the saviorship of our planet. And not to sound grandiose or hero-ish, but this is a very critical moment that we're in. And I think we all can recognize that. And it really is the wisdom of women that I believe is needed to lead us right now. And so I just want us all to shake a little bit and like shake off all the like doubt and fear and like feelings of like not being enough or right or this or that, and like to just shake that all off, and to shake off all of the pressure that we've put on ourselves, that was put upon us, and to shake all of that off. And I want you to feel for a moment that child in you, right? That inner child in you. I want you to see her playing outside. You bring your hands to your belly, your heart, and connect with her power, her curiosity, and her wisdom. I love what you say here, Jihye. The fear of being visible is a program which we can just reject or accept by just shining our truth. And yes. And I believe that the more women who stand up and share their truth, the more women will stand up and share their truth. I want to give just a little bit of my background, because this is bringing me there. I got to work with an amazing woman. I got to work with Marianne Williamson for over a year, working in content production for her and helping her create her content. And the day that I knew that I needed to be in her aura, in her energetic space, she gave a talk. She was on stage with the Dalai Lama, and we had just heard a really sad story. And she got up and she said, okay, this message is for the Western woman. She goes, the one who is so afraid of being too much, who is, quiet and doesn't want to like doesn't want to cause a scene. And she says, as she's standing next to the Dalai Lama, she goes, when you're in the throes of orgasmic bliss, do you ever stop and say, I'm being too much? She goes, absolutely not. She goes, you need to go into the full expansion. And that's what I need from all of you here. She's like, women, you need to go into the full expansion of your being and stand up, encourage, and express it, because every woman who stands up to do it inspires countless other women to do the same. And so I carry that message with me today, and I feel it often. And it's a message that also helps me get out of my own way when I'm feeling like not quite good enough, self-conscious, like all of those things, about sharing what's real for me, because it's bigger than me. It is so much bigger than us. So how do we get there, right? Well, that's where I have come and brought in these experiences that I've had. So working with Marianne, I got there because I had spent over 10 years in the nonprofit realm as a creative director, working with children in all walks of life, from the projects to Park Avenue, creating immersive art experiences and working with art therapy practices to use art as a catalyst for freedom, for liberation, and for creative and self-expression. And before that, one of the things that led me there were my studies. In my undergrad, I studied sociology, and for my graduate degree, I studied media studies at the New School at Parsons. And so all of these studies showed me, yeah, how does the human mind work? How do we come together in communities? Thank you, Carrie. How do we, like what are we actually as people, right? Who are we? In my sociology study, American studies was a big component of that. And I had such a question about, like, what does it mean to be American? I had visited France, and this French person was like, I can move to America and I will be American in 5 minutes. You will never be French. I was like, oh. And it really got me thinking. He's like, what does it even mean to be an American? And I was like, what does it mean to be an American, right? Like, who are we? And what I learned is that the American psyche is formed mostly by advertisement and consumerism. And in my study, I was just aghast to come to learn that so much of our programming was television programming. It was really like these messages that were put into our psyche that had us mostly feeling inferior. The first advertisement campaign in the United States was Listerine in the late 1800s. And the advertisement campaign was, nobody likes you because your breath stinks. Like, that was the basis of American advertising. And in many ways, it still is, right? Like, that there's something wrong with you. People aren't going to like you. But if you buy this thing that I happen to sell, you're going to do better, right? And we're given it all the time. And as a woman, especially, being under like this heavy boot of the beauty standard and all the 400 bazillion trillion products that are now shown to me through TikTokers and Reels and all of this, of all these things that I need in order to feel okay on camera, in order to feel okay in my own skin. And there's so much more. There's just so much more. And if we go a little deeper, I think what we also come to realize is that the beauty standard silences wisdom, because it doesn't honor age. It just doesn't, right? Everything is like, turn back the clock. It's like, fuck it. I made it to 40. Like, I have friends who didn't. Like, why wouldn't I be proud of that? Like, the time that we spend on this planet is such a gift, and every day our wisdom grows. Why aren't we proud of that? Why aren't we exalting that? Right? And not like, I want to look 11 years old. You know, that's this strange program that also robs us of the wisdom keepers on this planet. And the wisdom keepers are the ones that we need out in the forefront right now. So that's where I feel I am dedicating myself to. And that's my like passion and devotion, is really in like honoring and exalting the voice of the matriarch. And how is this voice going to like feel confident, feel beautiful, feel appreciated, feel seen, because we need her to lead us right now. We really need her. So that's what I'm calling forth, for that inner medicine woman, for that inner curiosity, for that matriarchal wisdom to truly come forward and shine. Let's just take a deep breath here. If you feel that there's that wisdom within you, if you feel like you want that wisdom to be more prevalent in your world, just write in the chat, inviting wisdom, right? Like, let's summon wisdom. Yeah, thank you. If you had to define wisdom, how would you define wisdom? I'm curious. What would you say? Yeah, thank you, Tiff. That deep inner knowing you can't escape. Truth of the heart. Ooh, digestion and embodiment of experience. Beautiful, Mara. Jill Stein, knowledge without apology. That's power. Yeah, Jihei, inner knowing coming from our soul. Lessons learned, gems received, walking in it, embracing it fully. So beautiful. The inner volition that pulls you forward, Dr. Juju, love. Yeah. Antonia, capacities, connection, and understanding of the language of mythos and embodiment. You are such a mystical angel. Rita Cork, soulful expression without hesitation. I love that. Oh, you, love you. Soulful expression without hesitation, right? In the Zen tradition, that's almost like right action, right? When you become so in alignment that you don't have to intellectualize so much and you just move in right action. Coming into that space where we have that deep trust, that deep connection. We're connected to source, to the earth. We're connected to the source, the cosmos. We're connected to the terrain around us. We know where we are so that we can move with that kind of ninja-like precision, right? Where we can have that kind of courage. So I began Brandora because I love to take photographs and I love graphic design and I love being in those realms and I love working with women bringing forth their magic. And it felt like, oh, what I'm doing here is, oh, Tiff has something else here. Listening beyond the stories and channeling the wisdom of Mother Gaia, which we all carry deeply if we just slow down to embody. Yeah. So slowing down to embody it. So, right. So I'm building this business and I'm like, yeah, it's like, it's surface stuff, you know, it's like the image but deep down knowing that an image can be a prayer to our higher self, right? And that a photograph, a portrait can be an initiation into our greater self, because at the end of the day, seeing helps us to believe. And if we can see something, we can actually begin to imagine it. And just like television programming hijacked our human imagination, how are we going to reclaim human imagination? Thank you, Serena. Yeah, an image is a prayer to our higher self. Like, we need to see the reflection of who we are beyond like our hair and our skin and our body, but really see who we are. And so working with my clients, I realized that I was in this deep shamanic process with them of helping them bring forth this inner landscape, the inner magic. Thank you, Yasika. To truly bring that forth. And it happens in so many ways. It happens through the process of self-knowledge and self-mapping, of really getting to understand who is the self. It happens through exploring the imagination, exploring the archetypes and the images that are hidden, like, and deep within us. It comes from like going into those realms. And so I found like, wow, I'm creating this entire process of deep inner magical expression. And it's so much more than marketing. It's like, it's actually just shining the light of the soul into the world. And now we get to live at this time when so many of us have these soul-based businesses. We're moving into our heart work. And so we have to actually combine those fields, right? And use visual storytelling to show who we are within, to express like, this is the temple that I'm building and this is how you can enter it, right? What is the invitation that you're offering to your feast? What is on the menu? All of these details become really important. And I am so in love with getting to know them within my clients. And so I want to I think, Jill, this is a good time to show some of the images, to show the slideshow. And I just want to share with you just a few of the incredible women I've had the opportunity to work with over the last 6 months. And this is Jackie, who came to Maui to embody her sacred higher self. And you know, I write here, like, it's a revolution of the sacred. And through her and through our collaboration, we really got to tap into what that looked like. Moving forward. And this expression of joy, right? Like, what is really, ultimately the heart wants to play and dance and sing and feel joy, right? And so how do we tap into that joy? That like wisdom needs joy in order to really stay juicy, right? And then next, a journey into our divinity, right? And then using like, you know, camera magic and these things of like, who is the triple goddess, right? What does she look like? What are the multiple forms of ourselves? What do we look like in our prayer state, and not just from the outside? And again, you know, this idea of like a Brandora is an energetic imprint. And my desire as an artist is to create artwork that has an energetic imprint, that something that you can look at and perceive and feel it. And so as we are building our heartfelt businesses, that people can feel our transmission, who we are, what we stand for, and our own embodiment in that practice. Welcome to Brandora Studio. Go ahead. And then these are more of the photos that I've done. This is Cindy. She's an incredible coach and therapist, helping women get in touch with their bodies, their pleasure, their desire. Keep going. Yeah, I love these two next to each other. This is Yeshala and Sonia. You know, Yeshala, she had just celebrated her 72nd birthday, and Sonia celebrated her 40th birthday. And like both in their own ways, like fully expressed in who they are. And I love Sonia on the right. She came to me and she was like, I want to create a project about turning 40 that is how awesome it is. Because as a woman, my whole, like everything is like, oh, 40, oh my God, like be 38, 39 forever. And how scary or something or ridiculous that story is. And she's like, I'm rewriting that story. And so she's taking it upon herself to single-handedly rewrite what it means to turn 40. And we had such an incredible experience of witnessing her as all the elements. This is her as the fire, really appropriate as Pele is erupting right now on the Big Island. And here she is as Pele. And Yeshala, this photo of her is like just ever, no, the one, go before it, on the left, ever like etched in my heart, because I'm like, I want to be, this is 72, like, yes, like I want, that's, I'm going there, right? And I want more women to feel that way, to feel like, oh, that's what 72 looks like. Awesome. Let's go there, you know, and that we can like really find comfort in our own skin and who we are, and find radical courage in our most deep inner flame. Yeah, that's right, Serena. All right, next slide. Yeah, here's Cindy again. This one's so victorious and courageous. Cindy's 54. And just like said her entire, you know, it's just in the like the last 5 years that she's feeling fully embodied in who she is. And I think that's just such an inspiring message, like of life. Like, yeah, let yourself take your time. Next slide. And then here's something that Cindy said, a testimonial she offered me. You captured everything I have become, how I live my life in my wisest self, the reclamation of my soul, my power, and my desires are fully seen through your lens. So grateful. So this is really like so deeply fulfilling for me. And that's something that like in creating our heart work, in creating our own business that is truly aligned in who we are, the nourishment comes in so many ways. And the magic happens in really these like multidimensional and quantum ways. And I have been just overwhelmed by the magic of the women that are coming to work with me, and how they are adding to my life, not just as clients, but as inspirations and mentors in their own way. I feel deeply, deeply enriched by our connections. Next, I want to show some of the medicine collages, the spirit portraits that I'm creating as I work remotely with women to help them create the visual language of their brand. And this is the work that I did for Jill for her prenatal mediumship. We did such a beautiful deep dive, subconscious journeying into how she was called into this work, what the work means to her, the mystical and spiritual connections she feels in this work, and came up with a visual language that then we started to weave. I began to weave through the magic of Photoshop to create more than a logo, but an entire visual language for her brand. Jill, do you want to say anything about, these are some of like the Instagram templates, so she can write her own quotes on them that come out of it. I have like a quote from you up there, but it's so nice to just hear from you.
Yeah, since I'm here, I might as well just talk, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I just manifested you out of thin air. But as my business was growing so slowly, I just had this calling and I wanted to get myself out there, and I hated my imagery that I had put together myself. And it's not bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was all good stuff, and I just couldn't figure out why it never resonated with me when I looked at it. And it never made me happy. It never brought me joy. And when I met Athena, and she said, everything you put out there has a vibration.
Mhm.
Everything you put out there affects the people that see it. A light bulb went off. Like, it's because I'm not putting out me. I'm not putting out my energy. I'm not putting out what's from my aura that I need to put out into the world. And so it just wasn't resonating. And, you know, I was doing okay. But then when I decided to have Athena create for me, I had no idea the journey that we were going to go down with the visualizations and this is not a small thing. We really dove deep before she actually went to the drawing board and started creating these things for me. And then when she sent it to me, I just almost fell off my chair, because finally it felt good. And I was able to take not only my collage, my amazing collage that she made for me, but all the pieces of it, and start using that to put out in everything that I did. So there's a recognition of me when people see it, and it has the right vibration. It has the right feeling. The energy that I'm putting out into the world now resonates with me. And has my business grown because of it? Yes. I'm getting a lot more readings than I ever used to, a lot more attention. And I'm sure that's because now people are actually catching me in what I'm putting out there. But it's not just about that. It's about the fact that I know when people look at what I put out there that Athena made for me, portals are being opened.
Mm.
Things are happening that I don't even know about because of what I'm putting out there now. And that's my work on the planet, is to do these wonderful things for people. I don't even have to be there now. I just have to take my stuff that Athena made for me and put it on Instagram. And I know that women are out there getting pregnant because of it. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but shit, that's it. I am putting me out there, and those images carry me with them, and people are getting me through it. So what a joyful thing. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. No, and this, I was saying, like, right. And then you create your heartfelt business and you magnetize these soul clients. And in working with Jill, I had been trying to conceive for 4 years, and we did through through her work, through, guiding her through her language and her landscape. She came back from one of our journeys and she told me she met my spirit baby. And I was like, okay, I've been working on it, but not trying to get my hopes up. And she was like, well, let me tell you what happened. And she told me the story of her experience with this spirit. And I really digested that. And that weekend, my partner and I, we went camping out at this really mystical, one of my favorite spots on the island at Waihe. And I was like, let's connect with this spirit. Like, I had a visual language for what this spirit was like. I could imagine them. And we really connected with that image and that energy and that transmission. And within days, I conceived. And I know that it was a lot of things that came together at that point, but that was a big one. And it was like such a testament to the quantum power of truly putting your heart, like speaking from the language of the heart and calling in the people that you're supposed to work with, comes back to you in ways that, like, you cannot even fathom. And so I have just such a deep, special connection with Jill, of course, who's like, I'm like, you're my fairy godmother and the most magical person ever. And like, just blown away because I was so scared to take the leap and to join the program where Jill is my coach. Like, it was the biggest financial investment I had ever fathomed, like it was just like, I don't know, but I knew that I needed support. I knew that I had been really living like this kind of lone wolf reality where I believed that I could just do things on my own and like felt really isolated. But I came into this community that so many of you here on the call are part of the Women Rocking Business community, and was just blown away by the multidimensional level of support that I felt in being in that community. And it reminded me of working with Marianne and how close she kept us as her core team, because we were her corner in the world. We had her back. We had, yes, we had the skills to manifest what she was putting forth, which is, of course, very important. And we really believed in her. And it is so important that we call in people who see us, who believe in us, and who have the skill to bring us to the next level. And really making that investment in ourselves is a quantum multidimensional investment that you cannot even begin to imagine the nourishment that is received from that. And so that's the space that I'm in now, and really calling for those people to enter my life that are truly ready to be supported, to see themselves in their magic, to have the courage to like put themselves out there, and to have that courage come from their own clarity, and to have that clarity come from like some deep soul work, and then have this beautiful presentation of who we are. Oh, Rita, thank you so much. I'm like, this is a time to believe, right? This is a time to believe in ourselves. This is a time to believe in sisterhood. This is a time to truly ask for support. I had really spent so long with my own conditioning of like being a giver and being really good at that, but not knowing how to actually be supported. And, tried to understand like self-care, and like I got to understand self-care like at the spa, and like that, yes, that feels great. But self-care is also this kind of self-parenting of like really giving us what we need. And so at that time in my life, when I met Jill, I decided I was going to invest in having a business coach, and I was going to go and I was going to see a therapist for the first time in my adult life. And it's changed my life significantly. It's just changed my life so much. I am living a dream right now that really was just a prayer for so long, and that I had this like inkling of doubt with all the time at the bottom of like, it's just a fantasy. So I just want to be here as testament that like your dreams are so real and so possible, no matter what little like monster doubt thing like lays at the bottom of them. And it really does come through self-investment. It comes through creating a team that you can truly trust. Trust is such a power. And when we have that kind of trust in our lives, it's deeply transformative. So I'm here for that. I want to show some more of the slides, Jill. Let's all just take a deep breath with me. Thank you so much for hearing, for listening to my story and being here with me right now. I would love to hear from you. I want to show you a little more of the work that I've done this year. And yeah, just I'm reading like some of like in this chat, Antonia, such an inspiration, been through the depths of some of the darkest corners of my soul these last months. And it's really meaningful to hear you share. I'm so grateful to hear that. It's challenging times. These are challenging times, you know, and I don't know, in the last 2 years with COVID, I've lost more people in my life to drug overdose and suicide than to illness. And I just think it's time to also be really real about claiming our lives, claiming our voice. We actually have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I'm so grateful to inspire some. Hey, yeah, connecting with our future soulmate clients through time and space. Yeah, we can do it consistently, right? Just creating like a set of visual language. It feels like this big, and it feels like a big deal somehow, or maybe it feels like a big investment, but it's a lifetime like transmission, you know, and to really create it in a way that you feel so seen and expressed in it. Now you have, like Jill was saying, you have that transmission that ripples out through time and space, and just your Instagram posts are shifting somebody's reality. You know, your medicine is already working. And like that fact alone is so powerful and brings us so much in the way of, like, if you want to call it karma or good energy, but it's like, it's not just about signing clients, which happens more when you put yourself out there, I can guarantee it. But it's also about like your Kuleana, your dharma on the planet as being this pillar of your unique expression. So let's take a look. Will you put up the slideshow again, Jill?
I'm still gonna put up my one with my quote because it's so much more eloquent than I said.
Thank you. Yeah, so this was something that Jill had written to me. You gave me the pillars of my branding. This kit has given me everything I need to translate my personality and intention through design. I used to sit down and work on my marketing and always felt like what I made fell so short of who I really was. Who can relate to that, right? Like you go to make a flyer on Canva and you're like, oh, is this my deepest soul's expression? Maybe not, but it'll do. Well, let's go from like, but it'll do to like, this is magnetic soul activation. And like, even if no one shows up, I'm changing the consciousness of the planet through this gorgeous flyer. Like that. Yes, Serena. Now my creative juices are flowing and all my presentations look amazing thanks to you. I love hearing that. I loved hearing that Jill felt she felt her creative self activated because she had like this little kit of images and now she could make all of her own things, right? Because it's like, yeah, I can, you know, you can get a fish, but then you can learn how to fish. And anyways, you got a whole tackle box and you can like really start getting creative with how you use that. Thanks for this gift. It's given me so much courage to be visible with this new business. Hallelujah, right? Stepping forward as a prenatal medium, that's a courageous act, right? Not many people are out there is like saying that they're a medium or an intuitive coach, or even like, you know, as a psychic, or all of these elements that are like bubbling within so many people. Yeah, we need courage to stand in that. So thank you so much, Jill. I am just beyond grateful to have supported this work. And yes, anyone who is looking to conceive, I highly suggest booking a reading with Jill. And let's move on. And then this was the work that I did for Dr. Lucy Hooten. Really the spirit portrait of her, and her expression as Wild Roots is her coaching and her coaching business. And this process, you know, sometimes it's like you get it right away, and then sometimes it takes time, and that's beautiful too. And with this process, it really took time with Lucy to like really come forth, and for her to truly see herself in what was happening. And I loved every step of the way. You know, I loved putting together the visual language. I loved bringing it into collage form. I loved getting on Zoom with her so she could watch me in Photoshop and be like, okay, but, and then here, and like just the whole experience of making this. And now she's putting it like on the back of jackets and mugs. She's got a whole merch thing going for Wild Roots, which I love. And she's printing it really big for her office behind her for when she does her Zoom work and online stuff, which is great. And then these are some of the templates that we made for her Instagram and stuff. And this is one of her quotes that came through when we were just doing one of our readings. There is an ancient wisdom that's been lost to the world. We're here for the reclamation of it. And I clearly so resonate with that. And yeah, I feel that we really kind of nailed that in her work. Thank you, Jihei. And then this just like so deeply satisfies my soul to hear this. But she wrote, working with Athena, I learned more about myself, my business, and my purpose on this planet than I have in any other time. I just want to acknowledge, like, this is like the biggest compliment of my life. You know, she's just coming out of a PhD program. She's in a large coaching container. She's not, you know, she's definitely like working on it. And then she told me, she was like, Athena, the Google, what's it called? Like the questionnaire. I have a questionnaire that we start with. She's like, I refer to that now every single time before I give a talk. That questionnaire alone was shamanic, and it like activated and made me really question all of this deep intention of what I'm doing. And she couldn't believe how much she even like, she's like, my coach has been telling me to narrow my niche, you know, for a year. She's like, I did that questionnaire and I realized, oh, this is my niche. And like, it all just became clear, you know? And I think when it's coming from the inside out, it becomes a lot more clear. And so that's really a lot of the work we're doing here. And she wrote, our work together created an identity for the medicine woman who lives within me. Now I have an expression that fully transmit all of what I'm here to do on this planet. And thank God, because Dr. Lucy Hooten is a powerful, powerful pillar. And just to know that she feels exalted and strong and courageous to truly be in her heart work is fantastic. And so we keep going. What else? Okay, these are the collages for Dr. Sue, who is an intuitive energy healer, a Reiki psychic, is an extremely powerful channel. Also in her early 70s. Dr. Sue is just another one of, I mean, I have to say all my clients have like become these like magical beings in my life. And Dr. Sue also especially, one, because she is extremely magical and powerful. And then also she's had an entire lifetime in criminology. She's a lawyer, she's a PhD, she was chief emeritus at her university for years. She's a highly accomplished woman. She's an author and a speaker. And for her to come out as an intuitive is still scary, right? It's still like, you know, even though she's like this, I mean, if you know Dr. Seuss, she's just like this mountain power, like incredible force. And it's just so meaningful for me to be in the corner of a woman like that, you know, who's like, who, even though she's like accomplished a bazillion things in her life, to give her the belief and support that like, no, she's not crazy. Like, this is powerful work, and that she knows deep down that this is her true soul's calling. The next one. Yeah, and then this is like from her, from the artwork that we create, Deepen Your Intuition, Expand Your Potential. Dr. Sue Carter Collins, Reiki Psychic. Just go back for a second. And again, here, you know, just creating like these elements and then working with them to create up to 20 templates for you to use that are already done, and then 20 elements that you can like play with and be creative with in yourself. So this is that. And then the last slide we have, oh no, that's not it, the one before it. Second to last slide. These are just some of like what I've offered. And that the healer is a storyteller, and that it is so important to tell the story of what you are doing, to paint the picture of your temple, to show people truly what it is like, what is the transformation that they will experience there, what is the transformation you have received. And that the storyteller, at the end of the day, is the one who rules the world. And I learned it as an undergrad, that the American psyche has somehow taken over the entire planet. And we've done it through stories. We've done it through Hollywood. We've done it through commercials. We've done it through stories. And so stories are this magic that create entire empires. And that right now there is an empire crumbling, and there is one that is waiting to be built. And that's why I'm saying, let's make love visual. Let's make that story so strong, so prominent, so courageous, that that becomes the story that we all live within. And that we, at this beautiful junction in history, have the power to become that storyteller. And it just comes through getting truly in touch with our own inner sense, and then finding the visual language to make it real and felt for others, to allow that brand aura, that energetic imprint, to really make its landing and become a felt experience, and therefore wisdom for someone else. So that wraps up my presentation. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's just take a deep breath together with me. Thank you. And we have a little time left. I'd love if you have any questions, if you have anything to share. I'm happy to hear that. When am I due? March 8th. Technically, I'm due March 8th, the International Women's Day, and it's a girl. So we've got another priestess on the way. Yeah, and thank you. And yeah. Oh, Alex, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. And you know, this moment in my life, I've got to say, is extremely juicy. My channel is very activated. And right now I'm really kind of calling in the last round of soul clients to work with before my life changes forever. And then we'll see what happens. So thank you so much for asking. Yeah, Pisces, little psychic Pisces. Oh, thank you, Deb. Yeah, if you want to unmute yourself, if there's anything you'd like to share. I'd love to hear if you received anything from this talk, like if there were any aha moments or just any reassurance or yeah, anything of that nature.
Can I go ahead and put the links in the chat?
Oh yeah, please. And Jill's going to put these links in the chat for a discovery call, and then also to the Brandora activation 8-week one-on-one container where we would create your artwork. Yeah, that's all available to you. And I have a hot offer. I almost forgot. Everyone who's on this call receives $500 off the Brandora activation kit. And if you book by Monday. So yeah, you can put in for a call with me and we'll get you on the books. As I'm in this like super psychic channeled space, let's channel your beauty and your truth and catapult you into the next level of your wisdom sharing. So thank you. Yeah. Yeah, anything that you would like to share? Is there any? Yeah.
I just wanted to say something really quick.
Mhm.
I just want to say how incredibly inspiring you are, Athena. Like your power and your strength that you stand in is just so inspiring. And I'm so excited for all of the things that you're going to be doing in the future. I can't wait to work with you at some point, to come out to Maui and stuff. And yeah, and my biggest takeaway really is the quote I put in the chat, you know, that an image can be or is a prayer to our higher self. Like it's just such a cool way to think of it. It's such a beautiful way to think of it, because I think sometimes, like you were saying, people don't want to be seen or they don't want to be on camera, which I actually don't love being on camera. I'm getting used to it, but like really thinking of it from that perspective, you know, and just knowing that anytime we're taking a photograph for our business or for our marketing or using graphics to represent who we are, yeah, it's a really beautiful reframe. So that's my biggest takeaway from today for sure.
Awesome.
And I love it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
I'm so
you.
grateful that you're here and I appreciate that reflection.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see Jill's photos. Woohoo!
Yeah, so I would like to also share reflections. So my background is actually, I used to work in marketing for more than a decade, and particularly in the side of the intelligence side. So it was just about funnel optimization, all kinds of things, and I got traumatized by that.
Yeah.
By seeing the other side of marketing, right? To see the abuse and to see how actually the the unawareness or the lack of awareness of customers is being used to get more money. So that's where I'm coming from. So it took me a couple of years to heal from that. And just by seeing what marketing can do on the other side, like being so like a initiation actually for people to express themselves, to open up, as someone mentioned here in the chat, a portal to the universe, which is within, and to express it to the world. It's so inspiring and also really healing for me, to resolve some of the trauma I'm still working through, and to really get in touch and also befriend marketing again, to use it more as a sacred tool. And I know that we keep talking about that, right? Like it's a sacred tool, and it's something really, it's codes to express our soul, but it's a different thing to really embody it. And I'm feeling that I got into touch with it even more, that I'm embodying it even more. Thank you so much, Athena.
Oh, thank you. That's such, I so appreciate hearing that. And it is, Serena wrote here, yeah, manipulation versus a sacred tool. The marketing industry is spending billions of dollars a year to hypnotize us, to understand like how to manipulate us into buying things that are ultimately from an extractivist culture, right? And are taking away from finite resources. And within that, there is a lot of magical and occult knowledge of like how you use colors and shapes and symbols, and all of that is very real in marketing. So it's like, well, why leave it up to them to do that? Like I'm magical too. I know a little bit about symbols and shapes and colors, and I would like to use those powers to like exalt these women and not Coca-Cola. So let's do that. And let's make that narrative, let's make that story so much more interesting. Yeah.
Absolutely. So on board with this. Thank you.
I really appreciate your feedback. Yeah, Antonia wrote here, thank you so much, Athena. You're bringing the special sauce and holding the prayer strong, moving and liberating souls in such a big way. Big. I am celebrating you. I have to hop off. Want to talk more, deeper dive, much has come up. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'm going to save this chat and tattoo it on me. Oh, all right. Well, I know people need to hop off. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to actively close the call. And if you want to stay on and chat a little bit, we can do that. So everyone just rub your hands together. Close your eyes, feet on the ground. Inhale deeply. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And just take those hands and put them on your body, your heart, your belly. Bless yourself. And then bring your hands so we can see them. I'm just offering this connection and communion with all of you. Yeah, and just breathe into your palms, see what you feel. And exhale, and just bring it all in. You are so seen and so supported. I really look forward to connecting with you, and my prayer is that some of us will collaborate and create together. Thank you so much for this time. See you, Lynn. So great to have you here. Oh,
Thank you so much, Athena.
oh, my pleasure, Serena. I'm so grateful you're here. Yeah. And if anyone wants to speak, yeah, I'm so glad to connect with you, Jihei. Does anyone else have anything they want to share?
Yeah, I just, Athena, I wanted to thank you for this. I really feel just really held. I think in particular, I mean, I am a closet priestess. I do, my work very sort of behind, I never advertise it. I mean, my coaching or my mentorship I do, but never the sacred work. And I think in listening to what you shared today, I realized this feeling of being held and how important it feels, as medicine women out in the world. So thank you for doing this, for really sort of just bringing your energy forth to be able to hold us and to sort of awaken that, because it does feel sort of like a path we have to walk invisibly, or this is how I've felt. I have felt that I've had to walk it invisibly, and it only sort of comes out in the corners, or sort of behind closed doors. And so I appreciate you for holding the space and creating this.
No, thank you so much. I'm really grateful to be connecting with all of these invisible priestesses. And that's what's been amazing to me, is like how, on the surface, like, oh, you would never think that or see that. And then, but underneath, there's like this incredible beauty and magic happening, and wisdom, like deep, deep wisdom. And yeah, I just really believe that bringing that wisdom forward and letting it be known that this is part of who we are is part of the revolution that can really help to guide our human family right now.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for all the work that you do. Yeah. Well, thank you, Nikki, in the chat. Does anyone else want to chat? Share anything?
I'll share something. Thank you so much, Athena. I really appreciate you and for how you show up and what you bring and your magic and your uniqueness, and like calling us all together to inspire us to, step out there and really just like be okay being our magical priestess selves, and how sharing, Dr. Sue, right? She's like this very much in, the world of, power suits and this and that, but then she's also this magical open, being. And I think that gives us all some permission to kind of step outside of whatever that box was that we felt like we should be in, to like into this flow of, who we get to be and who we truly are. So thank you for holding this space and creating your magic and, pulling out the deeper, brighter parts of us that, we can show and shine and feel safe and comfortable in. So thank you so much.
Such a pleasure, Jessica. I'm so grateful to be connected to you.
Me too. It's a blessing.
Yeah, Yaska is one of my friends here on Maui. For those of you who can come to Maui in the next 2 months, you might meet some of my friends here. It's an incredible reality that we have. And I just am so grateful to be held in a space where magic is alive and the earth is the most powerful thing that exists. So an experience here is profound. And I'm so grateful that Jill made the commitment and self-investment to really come and experience it. And, it was amazing when Jackie came, she came with her husband and he's in theater. And he was like, you want to take photos? Like, they live in the Bay Area. He's like, I know 100 photographers here who will do it for free. Like, why do we need to go to Maui and pay for it? And she was like, nope, we need to go to Maui and I need to do it like this. And he just trusted her as an artist to an artist, like, okay, you've got that call, but just didn't really see the merit so much. And the last day they were here, we all got together with a group of friends and I got to meet him, and he pulled me aside and he was like, listen, I didn't really think this was necessary, right? But I just saw the photos, and he's like, I'm married to Jackie. I see her every day. I have never seen her like this. And it's this part of her that she's been talking about for like the last few years, like past lives and channeling. And, he's like this kind of part of his own wife that is like, okay, this is interesting and new. He's like, I saw it there. And the photos are all like stories. And I want to know what's happening in that story. He's like, and I'm feeling intrigued about my wife in a whole new way. And I was like, oh, that is so awesome. Like, that just made me feel so good, because it's like that, right? Like the people we're around all the time, they're like, okay, like, sure. But then to let them really see it, you're like, see, I told you, she's in there. So yeah, such a magical time. Yeah. Aw. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else want to share? We'll just want to hang out here. Oh, Tiff, please.
Hey. Oh, I just feel so moved by that story, Athena, because I just feel like what you're doing is it's exactly what you said. You're creating portals of invitation, which I think is what, as an older woman trying to put her work into the world, it feels really separate from who I am to like advertise and market and try to like get people to come and partake in the medicine. But to have the way that you're doing it is just creating such a beautiful invitation into the soul of, what's being offered. And I think that is so beautiful and definitely something that feels in line with how I want to offer my medicine to the world, because everything else just feels so it just does not feel in alignment. And so you can really feel the difference between, and I've been on lots of different calls with lots of different marketing people trying to figure out like how to put myself out into the space. And this is honestly the first call that I've been on where I'm like, oh, that actually just creates the invitation. And that's what I'm looking to do. And I just love how you're doing that. You're doing it so well. Like you just creating the visual story and using all of the tools to just, create that portal. Sorry, I'm just repeating myself, but it's just so incredible. I just love what you're doing. You're so amazing.
Oh, thank you so much, Tiffany. I'm really touched by that reflection. And yeah, even for me to like make the words like marketing, it's like, if I'm like, like these words are so gross in their way, like they kind of, but I'm like, how do I tell? I'm like, but it is marketing, so like, can we use the word that it is? But right, how do we do it in a way that is so aligned and is actually a reflection of who we are, and not trying to manipulate someone through like a case study, but just like, no, this is what I am, and this is who I want to align with. And I think, we spend enough time working with people that we don't want to work with, that it's like, why not just put myself out there as who I am, so I work with the people I do want to work with. And like, that's a huge game changer. And that's kind of what I was expressing earlier, is like, the women I'm working with now are like my magical guides. It's like, I can't even explain like how blessed I feel to have them in my field, and then that I'm offering them a service is just like, I'm in reverence, and so it's like, right, I can work with people that inspire me.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Like,
Yeah.
so good. So yeah, it's really possible. And there is like such a vast world of women like us.
Mm.
Some guys too. And whatever, all kinds of expressions of people and that want to feel this, and that want to strengthen that within themselves. And so I know everybody here on this call has ways of doing that for people in their unique medicine, their unique way. And I'm just saying, like, there is a deep thirst for that in the world, and your work will be rewarded.
Mhm.
Hmm. Awesome. I'm loving this. Jeannie, yeah?
I just want to say that this was just really eye-opening for me. And opening a facet that I had never begun to consider. You know, marketing and branding and all of that. It's not that those aren't terms that I understand. It's just, like Jill, I was kind of creating my own stuff going, this just doesn't resonate. And just coming at branding from a place of resonation of who you are and actually opening that like window, like a portal to see and to reflect the depths. And I really appreciate it. And I'm going to use a quote from you.
Yeah.
Of just honoring the wisdom of the aged,
Yeah.
the experience and the things that the good, the bad, the ugly, the mistakes that we've made, just honoring that. And that was just my priceless takeaway was we need to still, no matter what age we are, because we always think we're old, no matter where we're at, because we're the oldest we've ever been. Just looking ahead at those who have traveled the path ahead of us and really learning from them. And those of us who are on the path ahead, turning around and being willing to be vulnerable to share it, because we've made plenty of our own mistakes along the way and learned from those too. So thank you. This was just phenomenal.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, I hope we all go forth from this, like, like tits up, heart open, like this, we got this. Oh. Thank you for sharing this new way of seeing ourselves and connecting it with marketing. Thank you, Deb. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Have a great day. Yeah, feel free to book a call. Yeah, if you want. We're officially done. I'm just hanging on if anyone wants to chat at all. But feel free to book a call. And yeah, you got that offer. Good. Until Monday. Yeah. Gee, hey, I really loved hearing your feedback coming from marketing. Yeah, have a beautiful day. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Juju. Thank you so much for this amazing talk, and more importantly, for what you're doing and bringing to the world. So magical, fantastic, magnificent. Aw. Yeah. Here for it. Rita, I see those Emmys behind you. Very impressed.
Thank-
Oh, wait, you cut out.
I never wanted to be so boastful as to put them behind me, because now you do a lot of Zoom calls, and that I never felt really comfortable with that before. But the group, everyone in our group have said, and my husband was the first one, but you don't believe him so quick, but everybody was saying, put him out, just put him out. You should. And so I kind of worked up the nerve to do it, and now it's there, and everybody's been really generous about acknowledging them. And they were hard to get. Emmys are a hard thing to get, but I'm very thankful for having them and for being acknowledged professionally. So I appreciate that. And everything that you're saying, Athena, today about brand, I hate the word branding. I hate the concept of marketing. And, and I produced television all my life, and I hate that negative sense of what the negative it can do, which is why I always valued so dearly the positive, and realizing that having that opportunity to be in that professional role, that power was daunting and so valuable, because you could reach so many people. And it was so important to get it right, always so important for me to get it right. And that's what I devoted my career to. So I'm very thankful for that as well. Thus, the ladies are there. So, and I usually decorate them for Christmas. So you might be seeing a little tinsel coming out soon.
I love it. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing about your journey. And yeah, it's so interesting, even coming from the realm of television and that the massive storytelling industry, right? It is a huge power.
Absolutely.
And so it's amazing. And for me to see you here now, and like, I'm really excited to see like what comes through you now at this stage of your life, and like how you're going to use your powers in a new way. And all of those Emmys, right? They're all winged goddesses or something.
Well,
And,
yeah, they are. And,
right? Like getting some wind beneath the wing.
That comes from everyone here to acknowledge it that way, which I've been proud, but never kind of looked at them in that way. So it being in this sisterhood is a gift. It's such a gift to make you slow down and to look at what's important, and be able to transfer all the gifts that we have and we want to share into a program that we can share and pass on. Just like you're saying, we're at a rough spot in the world right now. It's our responsibility to make a change, and that's what I want to bring to the table. And it feels good to be doing it with everybody here.
Oh, thank you for being here, and thank you so much for sharing.
Well, my pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Oh, Alex, I see your face.
I just wanted to hop on at the last minute just to tell you, Athena, that I am like blown away by this presentation. For those of you who don't know, no one knows. Athena and I lived together for a while. Early pandemic days, we lived together for a few months, and we shared day-to-day activities, some rituals, some circles, but I've never seen Athena in a professional environment, and I am like blown away. And this could not have come at a better time for me, because I am actually seeking this kind of help. And I didn't even know what the call was, but I'm just so drawn to Athena's energy and like your power, and like how you hold it down, and how you're so about truth and love and expansion. Obviously, Sag Mama. So yeah, I'm so grateful to be basking in your magic, and you're giving me inspiration, and yeah, just really looking forward to connecting even more in another realm, which is maybe the professional realm.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
Alex, you look so fabulous. I haven't seen you in like a year.
I know, I've been hiding. It's the witch wound.
Yeah,
The
okay.
witch wound is real. I've been literally hiding off of the internet. Because every time I speak my truth, I'm shot down. So I need to build up that confidence again. So this call really kind of confirmed that I know where to go to help.
Yeah, I'm in your
Yeah.
corner. I'm in your
Thanks,
corner.
love. I'm in your corner too, forever.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Yeah.
Another Canadian sister over here. Aw. Yeah, I love that we're all just still hanging out here. Do y'all want to come over? I'll make some tea. This is so fun.
I have to
Whenever I
tell you,
can
Tina,
come,
Everyone's like, yes.
you have to come over.
whenever the US lets me back in, I'm definitely flying to Hawaii.
Oh my gosh. Tell me who to write to. I use all my-
Literally. Yeah, some Canadians aren't allowed to the US right now for medical choices.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so hopefully the border is going to open up soon. I was actually supposed to fly out to San Francisco tomorrow, but it's still illegal, so I dropped those plans.
All right. Well, soon enough.
Soon enough, I have the faith. I have faith. Yeah.
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 Love that.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Rita.
I have to tell you, Athena, I was on the last class too, you know that.
Yeah.
But when you taught this class, especially the beginning, like the first 45 minutes, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, you need to be on the TEDx stage with like exactly what you did today, that first part, you know. Yeah, it was inspired.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it was as powerful as I've seen you. It was absolutely inspired. And
Oh,
that has to go up on your YouTube channel too. But yeah. I gotta
Great,
see you
thank
on-
you
on
so
that
much.
Stage for sure.
That's so good to hear. It's so important to have women in your corner because I don't know if that's how I felt. So it's so good to we really need each other, we really do. And it's like, I was working with Marianne. She ran for president. She's like the most courageous person alive. And she still like had these like little girl insecurity moments. And it was so like endearing, actually. It's like, oh yeah, okay. That's normal. So yeah. Thank you, Jill. Feels so good to have you in my corner. No. Yeah. All right. Well, if anyone else wants to share, I'm happy to hear. Otherwise, I'm gonna end the call and you can book a call with me. The link is there somewhere. It's on my website too, brandaura.studio. And you know how to find me. I'm here for you. All right. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And yes, let's connect.
Sending you
Beautiful.
so much love, Athena.
Thank you, Serena. You're the best.
Thank you, Athena. This was amazing.
Thank you, Tiff. So
Stay
good to
safe.
have you here. More to
Yeah.
come. Oh, all your beautiful faces. Here we go.